Hey everyone, it's Andrew Armstrong here, and I invited my friend Nathan Scott, who's the director here at MSU, to come share a God story with you. And as you learned from the last video, God's story is a story between you and God. It's very similar to a testimony, where a testimony is a lot of times has to do with you, God, and someone else. Right. But they both have to do with God. But this one's very specific, and it's kind of a personal story, how God ministered to you. And so, Nathan, why don't you go ahead and share with us that?
Yeah, we were talking earlier today and just sharing some different things. And I wanted to share something with you. A number of years ago, I was sitting at home, and I was just waiting on the Lord. Now, Andrew, waiting on the Lord, we've talked about this. It's not necessarily playing music. It's not necessarily going to worship. It's not necessarily even praying. It is sitting with an expectancy that the Lord wants to come and meet you.
Wow.
And it's not necessarily doing anything else, just sitting. And I had read and done those kind of different things already, but I was just waiting with expectancy. Now, as I was in that kind of place, my eyes are closed, and suddenly, like almost in my mind's eye, I have this vision or this experience. I see something happening, and all of a sudden I see myself, and I'm sitting in this room. It's a little like library type of room. I'm sitting in a leather chair. I have there's a coffee table in front of me with a cup of hot coffee, which I love. There is a fireplace with a roaring fire in the middle of it, and there were books all the way around. It's the kind of room that I would enjoy, Andrew, because I like to read a lot. Yeah. And so I'm just sitting here, and I'm thinking, this is a really cool kind of place to be. Suddenly, Jesus walks in the room. Now, I couldn't describe Jesus to you, Andrew, because it was more like I knew it was Jesus, but it was more just kind of like light. Mm-hmm. It was just, but I knew it was there. I knew who it was. And he sits down and he looks at me and he says, "This, Nathan, is my favorite place to be in all of creation." And I thought, this is a cool room, but really your favorite place to be in all of creation? He said, "This is my absolute favorite place to be." I said, "Jesus, how in the world could this be your favorite place in all of creation? Everything that you've done, everything you've created, how could this be your favorite place?" You know what he said?
What did he say? He
said, "It's my favorite place because it's where you are."
Wow.
And that was something that just so impacted me in that time. It's like the Lord is eagerly wanting to be with us. We talk about pursuing the Lord. More than that, Andrew, the Lord is He's pursuing us.
Wow, that blows my mind.
And when I just make myself available, the scriptures say this: we love Him because He first loved us. When I wait in eager anticipation for the Lord, He wants to meet with me. He's looking for opportunities to encounter me. And when I make the space and I make room for Him to be able to do that, He does that.
Wow, that's incredible. As I'm hearing this right now, it kind of really provokes my heart. That's why we actually wanted Nathan to share this, is because when I hear stories about how God meets with other people, yeah, it's kind of like a holy jealousy, kind of like a provoking. See, jealousy, when you're jealous, jealousy isn't bad when you're eagerly desiring something from the Lord, because He already promised it to us. Mm-hmm. And so when I hear that, it provokes my heart, and I hope it provokes yours as well. And because that's the point. We need to hear what God's doing in each other's lives. And so, Nathan, can you just kind of close us out with like this, a very quick, short word of advice on how they can do this too?
Yeah, the Lord wants to meet with you. He loves it. He loves you. He loves being with you, and He'll meet you in any place. He'll meet you when you're reading the scriptures. He'll meet you while you're praying. He'll meet you when you're just waiting on Him. But He'll do it when you're hanging out with friends. But if you wait with anticipation, if you are looking for Him, whether in all those different things, even looking for Him in your friends, the Lord wants to speak to you. He wants to meet you. And every time that He does, you can't walk away from His presence without being changed.
So here's just a challenge, I guess, today is, why don't you stop what you're doing, get alone, and get with the Lord for a few minutes. and let him encounter you too. We love you. Until next time. See you later.